Hello friends, welcome to video lecture on engineering mechanics. In the today's session, we'll learn about the numericals on the general force system. So first of all, we'll see what are the steps involved in the analysis of the resultant of general force system. So first step is here, follow the same procedure to get the summation of all the forces along x direction, then along the y direction, then calculations of this r as well as theta. The next one, the second step, to locate the position of the resultant by using Varigna's theorem. So we know the Varigna's theorem, summation of moment of all the forces about any point equals to moment of resultant force about the same point. Okay. Now in the next step, if to determine x and y intersections with the x and y axis, okay, you have to use this one, this relation, summation of moment of all the forces about any point equals to summation of all the vertical forces multiplied by x distance, okay, that indicate the x intersection. And here the summation of moment of all the forces about any point equals to summation of all the horizontal forces multiplied by y intersection. Okay, so in this way you can get the value for x and y intersection or intercepts. So let us start the problem related with this topic. Okay, so here is the first problem. Find the resultant of the forces acting on the bell crank lever as shown in figure. Also locate its position with respect to hinge B. So if you see the previous cases, we have discussed about resultant of system of covalent forces by considering the concurrent force system. Then we have seen the case of parallel force system. Now here is the general case where all the type of the forces are included. Okay, maybe inclined force, maybe horizontal force, maybe vertical force. Okay, in this way. Now this is the general system of three forces acting on the bell crank lever. Okay, here is the point about which this force is acting at this spot, this force is acting at this point, this force is acting at this point. Okay, so information regarding the force is also with us in terms of magnitude, in terms of angle made by every force with the either horizontal axis or vertical axis, etc. Okay, now in the first step you have to redraw this diagram for the solution. Okay, this is the general system of three forces acting at the bell crank lever. So in this way you can get the diagram. So first of all, it is very important to resolve the forces. Redraw this diagram, resolve the forces. Initially this actually point will not come here. This actually comes in the next step. Okay, so redraw this diagram as it is, and in the first step here get the value of summation of all the forces along the horizontal direction. Okay, by considering this as sign convention. Okay, so in the first step we know it is very important to resolve all the inclined forces. So what's about this angle? This angle with us 60 degree, this force with us 50 Newton. So what's about the horizontal component of the same? 50 cos of 60. At the same time you can get the vertical component of the same 50 sine of 60 in the downward direction, because the arrow of this one shows in this one inclined direction running towards in downward direction. So the forces will come like this one. Now focus only on the horizontal forces. To get the summation of f of x, focus only on the horizontal forces. 50 cos of 60, 50 cos of 60 running towards right direction. Apart from this one, if you focus on this one, this force is in vertical direction. So don't consider this force right now. Then move towards the next one. This force running in horizontal direction. Consider this force as positive. Okay. So what's about the answer for this one? 145 Newton. Now focus only on the vertical forces. So here is the first force. The magnitude of this force with us 50 sine of 60 running vertically in the downward direction. So here is the force 50 sine of 60 vertically in the downward direction. Give the minus sign for this one. So next force is here, whose magnitude 100 Newton. This force running vertically in the downward direction. Give the minus sign for this one. So do the calculation. We can get the value for the summation of f of x by considering this as sign convention. Forces which are running towards the right direction, you need to consider that forces as positive, and in the reverse direction you need to consider that forces as negative. Now in the same way get the value for summation of f of y by considering this as sign convention. So after doing calculation, we can get the value for the summation of f of y equals to minus 143.3 Newton. Okay, you just show this one by arrow running vertically in the downward direction. You can write this one in this way, 143.3 Newton. Now what's about the resultant force? Resultant force can be calculated by using this formula. So square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Okay, so what's about this one? Summation of f of x, this value already with us, 145 plus what's about next one with us, minus 143.3 square of this one. You can just square of minus any here square of any minus term, automatically we can get the plus here. So what's about the value for the r? After doing calculation, we can get the value for the r equals to 203.3 Newton. So next step is to get the value for the inclination made by that r with the this one x-axis. Okay, or simply just you can directly write here tan of theta equals to summation of f of y divided by summation of f of x equals to. So what's about the summation of f of y? Here at this stage it is not necessary to write the minus sign. You can decide the quadrant for the r later, depends upon the sign of this one and this one. Okay, so what's about the theta? 143.3 divided by 145. So we can get the value for theta equals to 44.66. I hope up to here all the steps cleared you. Now in this case we found the value of r after doing calculation, 203.8 Newton. That makes an angle theta equals to 44.66. So this indicate the quadrant of that r. So quadrant of the r we can get depends upon, here is the quadrant of the r shown, that actually lies in fourth quadrant. Okay, depends upon the sign of summation of f of x and f of y. Okay, so here is the plus value with us, this one. Summation of f of x is positive, summation of f of y is negative, means automatically the r lies in fourth quadrant. Okay, so here is the quadrant of that r shown. So r lies in fourth quadrant, that makes an angle 44.66 degree. Now to locate that resultant force, we need to consider that resultant force r, this one, resultant force r lies towards the right side of this one, right side of this B point, that makes an angle, this one, at a perpendicular distance d with respect to point B. In this way just you have to write one assumption and then you need to apply the Varigna's theorem. Here let the resultant be located at a perpendicular distance d to the right of B by dotted lines. So here that resultant force is shown with the help of dotted line. Here is the perpendicular distance between that resultant force and the point about which the moment is to be taken. Okay, so at this stage it is very important to take the moment of every force by considering this as sign convention. You have to take the moment of every force about that B point. Okay, now see, here is the first force, next one is here, next one is here, next one is here. Okay, so how this step is written? Okay, for that it is very important to concentrate on the diagram. Now focus on this diagram here. Okay, so here is the B point. Now focus on the first force, 50 sine of 60 turns about this point in which direction? This turns about this point in anti-clockwise direction, separated by how much distance? 20 plus 20, 40. So what's about this one? This turns about this point in anti-clockwise direction, separated by 40 distance. Okay, so 50 sine of 60 multiplied by 40 will come. So what's about this force? 50 cos of 60. Now be careful, the line of action of this force passes through this point. If I extend the line of action of this force up to the point about which the moment is to be taken, that line passes from that origin point. So the moment of this force about this point becomes 0. Don't consider this distance. Focus on the perpendicular distance between the line of action of this force and the point about which the moment is to be calculated. Okay, so what's about the next force? Next force is here 120 Newton. So as per our previous discussion, you need to consider the perpendicular distance between the line of action of this force and the point about which the moment is to be taken. So here is the perpendicular distance. So what's about this perpendicular distance? So 30 angle is given here. So what's about this perpendicular distance? For that you need to concentrate on this right angle triangle. So right angle triangle is here. Okay, so what's about the vertical distance? This is the vertical distance. So what's about this distance? We can get this vertical distance, this angle with us 30 degree. So vertical distance we can get in this way. Sine of 30 equals to vertical distance, if I assume as any letter, a letter. Okay, then what's about this length? This length with us 40. So we can get that distance as 40 multiplied by sine of 30. So this point is very important one. To take the moment of this force, you have to just stretch the line of this one, line of action of this force up to this point. Why? Because we get the perpendicular distance, and here is that perpendicular distance. So perpendicular distance with us 40 sine of 30. Now focus on this force, this one, this force, and write the summation of moment of all the forces by considering the sign convention in this way. So for the 50 sine of 60, you have to multiply by 40. Okay, I'll just open the diagram once again. Sine of 60, just focus on this force. 50 sine of 60 turns about this point. In which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. For anti-clockwise, consider the positive sign. So magnitude with us 50 sine of 60 multiplied by this distance with us 40. Okay, so plus sign must be given for in this way. 50 sine of 60 multiplied by 40. The next one is here. Next one is here, 100 Newton force. The tendency of this force to turn about this point in, again in anti-clockwise direction. Separated by how much distance? This one, 20 centimeter distance with us. So 100 multiplied by 20. Positive sign must be given for that force also. Now next force is here, 120 Newton. Tendency of this force to turn about this point in clockwise direction. So give the minus sign for this one. So what's about this distance? This is the distance. Sorry, this one actually adjacent side we have considered. So here cos of 30 is nothing but here adjacent side with us a divided by this distance. Sorry for this. Here is the cos 30, because adjacent side we have considered in right angle triangle. Okay, so here we can get the distance as 40 cos of 30. 40 cos of 30, and the tendency of this force to turn about this point in clockwise direction. So you get this step like this one. Minus 120 multiplied by 40 cos of 30, like this one. At the same time, if you look towards the right side, moment of resonant force about the same point. For that you need to consider the moment of this resultant force. So already we know the resultant force comes in fourth quadrant. Okay, perpendicular distance we have assumed as d. Okay, so you have to take the moment of this force about this point. So what's about the magnitude for the r? Magnitude for the r with us 203.3. you have to take the moment of this 203.3 force about this point. Okay, so here is the perpendicular distance. The value for that resultant force 203.3 with us turns about this point in clockwise direction. For the clockwise you need to consider as negative sign. So that's why the negative sign given for r. Okay, so minus 203.3 multiplied by 203.3. Okay, so multiply by d distance. If you look towards this relation written here, only d is unknown value. To solve this, you can get the value for d equals to 2.085 centimeter in this way. So after doing calculation, as the value of d is positive, means our assumption is correct. So we have assumed here the r lies towards this one. R lies towards the which one? Right side of that b point. Okay, this is our assumption. And as the value for this one comes positive, means our assumption is correct. Hence the resultant r equals to 203.3 Newton at theta equals to 44.66. Okay, this indicate in the fourth quadrant is located at a perpendicular distance d equals to 2.085 centimeter to the right of b, okay, as shown in this figure. Okay, so let us start with the next problem. So determine the resultant of four forces tangential to the circle of radius 4 centimeter as shown in this figure. What will be the location of the resultant with respect to the center of circle? So for that, this is the actually force system is given. So what's about this force 100 kilonewton? What's about this one 100 kilonewton force? So the tangential distance between the every force is nothing but the radius of that circle. So every force is in tangential tangent with that circle. Okay, so this distance remains fixed, 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter. Okay, now my aim is to get the answer for the resultant force and its location with respect to this one origin or center of the circle. For that, just follow the steps. So this is the general system of four forces acting on a circle. As far as concerned with the answer, redraw this diagram like this. So in the first step, first of all just resolve these forces. Resolve the inclined forces if any in the system. The two forces are with us in the inclined direction. Okay, like this one. So it is very important to resolve this force. So I'll just show you this resolution of the forces. If you look towards the first one, 100 Newton force, this one, horizontal direction, it is not necessary to resolve this force. This one vertical in the downward direction, it is not necessary to resolve this force. Now here is the 100 Newton force with us. Now see the line joining from the center of this circle. So this actually is nothing but the radius. So what's about angle made by this tangential line with the center of this one. So here is the angle 45 degree with us. So same angle we can get here because the opposite of this one, if you just see here from the diagram, you can get here 45 degree. And if you just see the tangential, means here the 90 degree angle with us. So what's about this one? We can get the 45 degree. So to resolve this 100 kilonewton into its component. So what's about this one 45 degree angle with us? So what's about the horizontal component? This is nothing but the 100 cos of 45. Okay. So here we can get the 100 cos of 45 in this way. The next one, the vertical component of the same is 100 sin of 45. Similarly, you have to resolve the next one. This one, 100 kilonewton force you have to resolve into its components. Okay. So this angle is given 30 degree. Automatically, the opposite of this one you can get here 30 degree. Okay. So what's about this angle? If this angle is 30 degree, so what's about this angle? Here we can get the 90 degree, means here we can get the 60 degree. So this angle is 60 degree, means automatically this angle must be 30 degree. So if I consider this angle as 30 degree, what's about the corresponding component? You can get here 100 cos of 30. At the same time, you can get the horizontal component as 100 sin of 30. Now once the resolution of all the forces is worked, now the problem start for the calculation of summation of all the horizontal forces. So here in this way you can get the summation of all the forces. So first force is here whose magnitude 100 with us, 100, that force running vertically, in horizontal direction towards the right side, this one. So 100 kilonewton force with us, give the plus sign for the same force. Now next one is here 100 cos of 45, this force with us running towards the right side. So consider this force as positive. Look towards this diagram carefully. 100 cos of 45, 100 cos of 45, this force with us. this one. This force also running towards the right direction. Consider this force as positive. The next force is here, 100 sine of 30, running in reverse direction. So give the minus sign for this one. Do the calculation. After doing calculation, we found the value for the same as 120.7 kilo Newton. Then do the calculations for the summation of all the vertical forces. This force running vertically in the downward direction, give the minus sign for the same. Next one with us here, whose magnitude 100 sine of 45, running vertically in the downward direction, with a minus sign for the same. Next one is here, this force running vertically in the upward direction, whose magnitude with us 100 cos of 30, running vertically in the upward direction. So give the plus sign for the same. Make sure that all the vertical forces considered bias. For that, just count all the forces, 1, 2 and 3. 3 forces written here and 3 forces in front of you. Okay, means this one actually tallies. So after doing calculation, you can get the magnitude for the same as minus 84.1 kilonewton. So this can be shown like this one. The downward arrow shows the negative value for the same. Now get the value for the R. Okay, so R can be calculated by using this formula, summation of this one, square root of summation of all the horizontal forces square plus summation of all the vertical forces square. Substitute the value for summation of f of x, f of y. Do the calculation. You can get the value for R equals to 147.1 Newton. Then get the inclination made by that R with the x-axis. Okay, so for that we know this formula, summation of all the forces along the vertical direction divided by summation of all the forces along the horizontal direction equals to, we know the magnitude for this one, we know the magnitude for this one. It is not necessary to give the minus sign here, only get the value for the same. So after doing calculations, we can get the value for theta equals to 34.86. okay, now depends upon the sign of summation of f of x and summation of f of y, we can decide the quadrant for this R. Okay, so depends upon this one positive, this one negative, means R lies in which quadrant? This must be lies in fourth quadrant. Okay, now once we get the value for the R, next point is very important one, the location of the resultant force. Now just assume here, let the resultant force be located at a perpendicular distance d towards the right side of point O. Let us assume that this resultant force, here is our assumption, resultant force R is lies towards the which one, or located at a perpendicular distance d towards the right side of this point O. Now use the Varignas theorem. Focus on one by one force. Okay, so it is very important to write the formula for the Varignas theorem. Summation of moment of all the forces about any point equals to moment of resultant force about the same point. This is the Varignas theorem. Now pick up one by one force and take the moment of every force about the same point. Now it is very important to know what's about the meaning of moment. Moment is nothing but it is the product of force and perpendicular distance between the point about which the moment is to be calculated. So if I concentrate on this force, see the line of action of this force and the point about which the moment is to be taken, this is the perpendicular distance. So in short, we can get the radius of this one. Again, if I focus on this 100 kilonewton force, the tendency, or if you want to take the moment of this force about this point, again you can get the perpendicular distance. This is the perpendicular distance. For the circle case, if you just see, if any force is tangent to that circle, it is not necessary to take the components of the same. You can take the original force. Why? Because we found the direct perpendicular distance. It is not necessary to take the component of this one in horizontal direction, then you need to take the distance, then vertical component. If you take, you can get the same answer, but take the advantage of the geometry. Every force is tangential with the circle, means we can get the perpendicular distance here. Okay, now for this case, if you just see here 100 Newton force with us, first one is 100 kilonewton force with us. See, this force turns about this point in which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. For anti-clockwise, just give the this force turns about this point in which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. For anti-clockwise, you give the here plus sign. Okay, before that, just consider this one as a first one. Okay, so here the minus sign given, that's why the first force considered is this one. Okay, so 100 kilonewton force. So here is the 100 kilonewton force multiplied by distance with us in terms of radius 4 centimeter. So the tendency of this force to turn about this point in clockwise direction. So what's about this one? Minus 100 multiplied by 4. So what's about the next one? Next force is here. The tendency of this force 100 kilonewton force to turn about this point in which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. Again, I am repeating here, it is not necessary to consider the component of this force. Why? Because directly we can get the perpendicular distance between the line of action of this force and the point about which the moment is to be calculated. Okay, you can take the advantage of this one in case of circle only. Okay, now just say this turns about this point in which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. For anti-clockwise, again give the plus sign. Okay, so what's about the distance? Here is the 4 centimeter distance with us. So 100 multiplied by 4 will come. Similar with the next case. So next force is here. The tendency of this force to turn about this point once again in clockwise direction. For that, give the plus sign. Okay. So 100 force with us, 100 kilonewton separated by distance. How much? Again, the radius distance means here 4 centimeter. Okay, that's why this step is written here like this one. And last one is here. Again, this force turns about this point in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, the last force will come here 100 multiplied by 4. Okay, now what's about the right side of this one? The right side, you have to take the moment of resultant force about the same point. Okay, now what's about the moment of the resultant force about the same point? For that, you need to take the moment of this resultant force about the same point. So what's about this one? Perpendicular distance with us d. You have to take the moment of this resultant force about the same point. Okay, so this turns about this point in which direction? This one in clockwise direction. That's why here minus sign is given. Minus 147.1 multiplied by d. After doing calculation, the value for the d we can get as minus 5.44 meter. The minus sign indicate that whatever our assumption is wrong. Okay, so for that the d equals to 5.44 meter must be towards the left side of that point O instead of right side of that point O. As per calculation, as the value for the d is negative, the location of that R must be towards the left side of that point O. Here clearly you can just write here d equals to 5.44 meter left of point O. Hence the resultant force R equals to 147.1 Newton at theta equals to 34.86 degree is located at a perpendicular distance d equals to 5.44 centimeter left of O. Okay, so left of O means here you can just show like this one. Instead of right side, you can just show that same force was the left side of that O point. Okay, I hope this problem clear to you. So let us start with the next problem. So here is the next problem. Determine the resultant of the force system. The side of each small square is 1 meter. The overall size of the body is 4 meter multiplied by 4 meter. The problem is given like this one. So here is the 20 kilonewton force with us, then 50 kilonewton force with us, then 50 kilonewton, then 100 kilonewton, then 20 kilonewton force is with us. So as per information given in the problem, side of each small square is 1 meter. Okay, so this is nothing but the 1 meter here, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Okay, so you can get the distance of this 20 kilonewton with respect to this O point as 3 meter. Similarly, here the distance of this one you can get as 2 meter. Okay, so this distance we can get the here 3 meter. Okay, here we can get this horizontal distance as 2 meter. Now just follow the step here. So this is the system of 5 general forces. by using the method of resolution. First of all, get the summation of f of x. Okay, for that it is very important to redraw this diagram like this one, and resolve the inclined forces if any. So here a 50 kilonewton force with us. First of all, resolve this force in this way. So this angle is given 45 degree. So what's about this force? This force is nothing but the component of this one in horizontal direction is 50 cos of 45. This force must be 50 cos of 45. In this way you can get the component of the same in horizontal direction. So what's about the vertical component? 50 sine of 45. In this way I can get the component of the same force in vertical direction. Now first of all, get the summation of f of x. Summation of f of x we can get with the help of this one by observing every force in horizontal direction. So 20 kilonewton force running towards the right direction. Okay, so here is the 20 kilonewton force with us. 20 kilonewton, just consider this force as positive. Next one, this force with us, 50 cos of 45 running towards the right direction, consider this force as positive. Okay, and do the calculation. You can get the value for the same as 55.35. okay, now next one, we can get the value for the summation of all the vertical forces in this way. So vertical forces with us, this one is the first vertical force with us, 50 sine of 45 by considering sign conventions. Okay, it is very important to consider the sign convention carefully. So 50 sine of 45 running vertically in upward direction, consider this force as positive. Now next force is here, 100 kilonewton force, this one running vertically in the upward direction, consider this force also as positive. Then this force, 50 kilonewton force running vertically in the downward direction, consider this force as negative. Now next force is here, 20 kilonewton force running now next force is here, whose magnitude with us 20 kilonewton vertically in the downward direction. Okay, so consider this force as negative. After doing calculation, we get the value for the summation of f of y equals to 65.35. Then calculate the value for the resultant r. So r can be calculated with the help of this relation, square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Substitute the value of summation of f of x, that value with us 55.35, and summation of f of y with us 65.35. just substitute here, do the calculation, we can get the value for resultant r equals to 85.64. okay, then calculate the value for the angle made by that resultant force with the x-axis. That can be calculated with the help of this relation, summation of f of y divided by summation of f of x. So summation of f of y already with us 65.35 divided by 55.35. So you can get the value for theta equals to 49.74 after doing calculation. Okay, now depends upon the sign of this one, summation of f of x and f of y, we can decide the quadrant. As this one is positive and this one is also positive, the r lies in first quadrant. Okay, so here clearly mentioned the arrows of summation of f of x and f of y implies that the sense of the resultant lies in first quadrant. Okay, now the location of the resultant force, this point is very important one. So location of the resultant force, for that let us assume that this r, resultant r is located at a perpendicular distance d to the right of point O. So perpendicular distance we are considered as d. So right point of this one, O is here, O point is here. Towards the right of this point O, the r is located, okay, at a perpendicular distance d. Now you have to just apply the Varinga's theorem like this one, summation of moment of all the forces about any point equals to moment of resultant force about the same point. By using this sign convention, you have to just develop this relation. So for that you need to take the moment of every force about this O point. So first force is here, 50 kilonewton force, the component of the same force with us here. If you just see this component and this one passes through this point, passes through same point, means the point about which the moment is to be taken, means it is not necessary to consider this force as well as this force. Okay, now next force we have considered this one, 20 kilonewton. The tendency of this force to turn about this point is nothing but in this one in clockwise direction. For clockwise direction, give the minus sign. So 20 multiplied by 3. So this one with the, why the 3? Because 1 centimeter shown here, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3 centimeter. So 20 multiplied by this one, 3. So what's about the next one? Next force is considered is 50 kilonewton. See the line of action of this force. Try to extend the line of action of this force up to this point. Why? Because here we can get the perpendicular distance. So perpendicular distance with us 2. Just stretch the line of this one up to here and just see the tendency of this force to turn about this point in anti-clockwise direction. Sorry, in clockwise direction. For the clockwise, you need to give the minus sign. So minus 50 multiplied by distance with us 2. Okay, so minus 50 multiplied by 2. So next force is here, 20 kilonewton force. The tendency of this force to turn about this point in which direction? This one again in clockwise direction. For clockwise, give the minus sign. So minus 20 multiplied by distance with us 3. Okay, so next force is here, whose magnitude with us 100 kilonewton. The tendency of this force to turn about this point in this one in anti-clockwise direction. For anti-clockwise, you have to consider the positive sign. So distance between this point and this one with us 2. So 100 multiplied by 2 equate with the right side of this one with us moment of resultant force about the same point. So you have to take the moment of resultant force. So here is the resultant force. The moment of resultant force about this point is nothing but the magnitude of this force and perpendicular distance. So what's about the magnitude with us? 85.64. Turns about this point in which direction? This one in anti-clockwise direction. Multiply by distance with us d. So do the calculation and get the value for d equals to minus 0.2335. Or we can just say, if you just say our assumption is here, resultant r lies towards the right side of that point O. But after doing calculation, you can get the value for this one d is negative. It indicates that the resultant is not towards the right side of this one, that should be towards the left of point O. And in this way you can get the details of that resultant force, and you have to just show that resultant force for the answer with the diagram. In this way, the resultant force towards the left side of this one. So what's about the magnitude? 85.64. So this actually indicate in the first quadrant separated by distance. Your distance with us 0.2335 meter. Okay, thank you. Hope in the today's lecture what are the points discussed related with the general force system clear to you.